Despite parts of Australia experiencing the worst heat wave since the 2019-20 Black Summer bushfires, people can still be spotted exercising in the hot weather. But should you be exercising when it is this hot and is it possible to do it safely? Jamie Crain is the CEO of Sports Medicine Australia and he joins us now from Melbourne. Jamie Crain, welcome. So how did you go with the heat there yesterday? A bit cooler today?
Bit cooler today, but great to see that summer's finally arrived in Melbourne.
Okay, but are there still people running around the tan in the middle of the day? There are many people out there who like to keep up their exercise routines, rain, hail or shine. What's your advice to people who usually do it outdoors?
Yeah, so actually on my way in here just now, I did see quite a number of people running along the riverside there, coming into the studios. But look, the key message here is to plan and keep an eye on the key metrics here. And of course, we're all familiar with temperature because that's reported to us every day through the news, and we all are fairly clear about that. But actually, when it comes to the risk of extreme heat, it's more than just the temperature. There's really four key factors that affect someone's exposure to the effects of extreme heat. So you've got the temperature. Now, temperature is measured in the shade, and that's important to understand. And that if you're in direct sunlight, then of course you're going to be exposed to potentially temperatures that are considerably higher. So that comes to the second factor, which is radiant heat. The third factor is humidity, and thankfully in Melbourne we don't really suffer too much from significant humidity, but of course if you go further up the country, then humidity is definitely a factor. And then the last factor is breeze and wind. And of course the wind is very helpful in helping our bodies naturally cool themselves. So we sweat when we get hot and we need to cool down. The breeze obviously helps us do that. So when it comes to exercising routinely, it really means that you need to pay attention to those four factors in order to do it safely. And of course, if we're going to have extreme heat like we had yesterday, again tomorrow in Melbourne and in other parts of the state, I would probably avoid those peak times of the day, anywhere between 11 and 4 o'clock. And just stick to early morning or later in the evening if you do want to exercise.
And is it important to keep it up if you can, but do so safely?
Oh, absolutely. Look, no one's going to lose a huge amount of condition if you were to postpone your run for a day or even 2 days. So I don't think people should be too concerned about that from a fitness perspective. What's important to remember is that if people do want to get out there and exercise, is that they do pay attention to hydration, making sure you wear a hat if you're in direct sunlight. You've got access to shade if you need to take a break. And of course, if your usual exercise session is, let's say, 30 minutes, on a day of extreme heat, you might want to think about whether that's sensible and you need to curtail it somewhat and maybe shorten it. Or again, move it to a cooler part of the day.
Yeah, or indoors.
Or indoors, yeah, equally. I mean, indoors would be good, particularly if it was air-conditioned. That would be very helpful. But of course, you're not totally immune from the effects of heat if you're indoors and there's no air conditioning, because you don't have that breeze effect, which is very important for cooling the body.
Okay, are you going to be doing something later on in the cooler evening hours?
I'll probably go for a swim.
Not in the Yarra, I hope.
Probably not the Yarra, but yes, something to cool down for sure.